Hello and welcome to this edition of Steelers Weekly. Tonight you'll see some of the best content from Steelers.com that aired throughout the week. Let's get started.
They're going to try to stop every single bit of that we did this last time. Their defense has always been a smart defense. I'm sure they're going to try to catch us in bad spots, put us in bad spots also, and we gotta push past that. So I know their antennas are probably up right now.
All right, that was Ramon Foster after practice on Friday, talking about the success the Steelers' run game had against the Patriots last year at Heinz Field. No James Conner, though, that year. He will be there this weekend, Sunday Night Football in New England. It is time now for the Steelers' status report to see who will not be playing. Of course, there will be a list of inactives. We'll get about 90 minutes to kick on Sunday, but Sean Davis is listed as doubtful, not able to practice a ton this week. So he is the only player listed here in terms of the Steelers, which is the good news. As we've said all week, Cam Kelly is a guy that has filled in for Sean Davis throughout preseason, all of training camp, even in practices here at the UPMC Rooney Sports Complex. So Cam Kelly could potentially be making his NFL debut as a starter and against Tom Brady. The secondary guys also told us that Mike Hilton has been working some at safety this week as well. So a lot to see in terms of the Steelers defense. But we did get a chance to catch up with both of the Steelers coordinators on Thursday. First up, we're going to hear from offensive coordinator Randy Fichtner talking about what he wants to see from James Washington in week 1.
I want to see him just play and have fun like he did kind of in the preseason. He played pretty much air-free. He played aggressive and confident. That's all he's got to do. He's very talented. He's got good power, good strength. He's got good hands. He just got to now do it in a real game, And I think that confidence level that he has right now, him and Seven, with a full year's work, I think it's very good.
All right, you already heard from Ramon Foster talking about the run game working in the Steelers' favor last year. What worked for the Steelers' defense? We had a chance to hear from defensive coordinator Keith Butler and how they were able to hold Tom Brady and company to just 10 points last season.
We did a good job of tackling, and we did a good job of playing situational football against them. And obviously we gave up 7 points, and giving up 7 points, we turned somebody loose when they did that. And we would like to get that one back, but for the most part, our guys played pretty good. And they know this is a challenge for us. And to me, this is what the NFL football is all about. I mean, the love of the game is playing against the best in the world, and so I think our guys want to do that.
We've talked so much about the Steelers defense wanting to play fast and also wanting to play physical, and I'm sure all eyes will be on that guy, number 55, when we see him on the field of Gillette Stadium. But there's also somebody on the opposing sideline who Devin Bush knows very well, Pittsburgh native Chase Winovich.
We was watching him today on film, and he's still doing what he does best, and that's rushing the passer and making plays. So I'm excited to see what he's gonna do.
How unique is his personality? Obviously, he's
very,
always
very unique,
doing goofy stuff.
He always one of his kind, man. He's so smart though. That's the thing. He's smart, but he's also a guy who's very genuine.
All right, it of course is Steelers Friday. I'm sure everybody wore their best Steelers gear to head to work or school. My two boys were no exception, rocking their Ben Roethlisberger and also Devin Bush's jersey, my oldest picking that one out. We asked you to send in your photos to show us how you're getting ready for Sunday Night Football, so let's take a look at some of the other ones. There's Matthew and Justin. Here we have some dogs. Love the names. Rooney and Kiesel joined by Foster Dog River. Shout out to this family. And also some other good jerseys. It's not just for the kids. It's also for everyone as well, myself included. And then, of course, we have to end on a super cute baby. Love the headband, obviously raising this little one right. So thank you, everyone. We know we received a ton of them. We will try to incorporate them every Friday. But before we let you go today, to get you pumped up for Sunday Night Football, let's take a look at a special edition of Here We Go featuring James Conner.
Perseverance. What exactly is perseverance? continued effort to do or achieve something despite difficulties, the ability to fight through adversity and bounce back. A football player requires perseverance to reach greatness. We keep moving forward, a team, a city, a nation.
Let's go, all in on 3. 1, 2, 3, all in. Head coach Mike Tomlin and your Pittsburgh Steelers.
And we come back stronger than ever. Here we go.
New season, new studios. We've added bobbleheads, but this is still agree to disagree.
The show with the motto, I'm right, he's still wrong.
New season, new studios. We've added bobbleheads, but this is still agree to disagree.
The show with the motto, I'm right, he's still wrong.
All right, and I
And I
still
got a
have
bell,
my
too.
bell.
And I got-
Unfortunately, Labs brought one as well.
Didn't
Let's
they get rid of
things
Bell?
started.
He left.
Statement number 1. The Patriots are vulnerable for openers. Pursuta, you're up first.
Let's let bobblehead Mikey disagree. Absolutely not. Yeah, I know there have been some changes up there. There have been some unfortunate guys going on IR. There have been suspensions, multiple suspensions at the tight end position, personnel differences. But hey, that's always been the case in New England. Guys have come and gone up there. 2 guys have remained, the guy who coaches and the guy who plays quarterback. And the record at home under Tom Brady, with Tom Brady as the quarterback, is 135-21, including 8-0 last year. These guys are still the New England Patriots. Anybody expecting anything less is not seeing the big picture.
Okay, I'm going to disagree gently. And the way I'm looking at it is because, to me, it's a relative. They are more vulnerable in this opener than I believe they have been in a while. And, you know, you mentioned some suspensions and injury and stuff, but typical Pursuta, you eliminated the one key absence, which is a retirement. That tight end, what's his name? That's it, Gronkowski. Isn't there anymore? Steelers nemesis, maybe one of the all-time Steelers nemesis. And in addition to Rob Gronkowski having retired, the center is on IR, David Andrews. He'll be replaced by Ted Karras, who used to be a guard. Their left tackle is now someone called Isaiah Wynn, and the guy who's taking Rob Gronkowski's spot his name is Matt Lacoste. Julian Edelman has a broken thumb. I get it. They're still the New England Patriots. They are definitely 135-21, and you broke the rule by doing research. And
somebody actually told me that. I didn't look it up.
They are very, very difficult to beat. However, I think when you compare them to past New England teams, they're a little bit vulnerable.
All right, all right.
I'm not done yet.
Statement number 2. You each only get 60 seconds, all right? Win or lose, it's only one game. Labs, you can go first on this one.
I'm going to disagree, and again, I'm disagreeing somewhat gently.
Central Catholic math, apparently.
Quit cutting into my time, making me laugh. Yes, it's only one game, and the Steelers will neither clinch a berth in the Super Bowl, nor will they be eliminated from the playoffs by what happens Sunday night at Gillette Stadium. However, I do think that, you know, the Patriots, to some degree, are the Steelers' white whale, and especially in Gillette Stadium. And especially when Tom Brady is the quarterback. And so I think it will have a little bit of meaning for the Steelers beyond 1-0 if they're able to win that game. They're give a lot of confidence to a lot of these young guys and the new defense and the offense without those two guys. I forget their names. One of them kind of reminds me of that. And, so again, it's not a huge difference, 1-0, 0-1, but I do think it would mean a little bit more than just that one game.
Just in the nick of time. All right, Pursuta, your thoughts.
All right, I'm going to start with Bobblehead Mikey is going to disagree with him and say, yes, it is only one game. Because it is only one game, but I got to give Mr. Labriola full marks for the white whale reference going up to New England, home of the whaling industry in Melville and all that. Kudos to you for coming up with that. But I think if the Steelers go up there and win, I know their fans are desperate or let's say eager to see a new look team, the team of togetherness, the team of teamwork, the team that overcomes adversity instead of shooting itself in the foot with the same. Everybody wants to see that on display. If they see it, great. It's still only one win. If they lose, it's going to be a learning experience for people such as Devin Bush and people such as Benny Snell Jr. and a lot of the young guys who have not been in this kind of environment before. It's a good chance to see where they are relative to last season's defending champs. In fact, it's the only way to see where they are relative to last season's defending champs. So, yeah, great game, great drama, great storylines. Still just one.
There will be a long line at the 14K
All right,
bridge.
too much bell today, too much pleasantries to each other. We're going to start with you. Give us your key to Sunday night.
I think for the Steelers to be successful, it starts with their interior linebackers versus the Patriots running backs. They're going to try to isolate those guys and make them play in space, especially because of their tight end situation.
There's only one way to be ready for this week's game, and that's by getting your keys to the game. Hi everybody, welcome to the Keys to the Game, presented by your neighborhood Ford store. I'm Missi Mathews, joined by Tunch Ilkin and Arthur Moats. You know what we're getting ready for week 1 at Gillette Stadium, Sunday Night Football, defending Super Bowl champs. Arthur, we're going to start with you. Give us your key to Sunday night.
I think for the Steelers to be successful, it starts with their interior linebackers versus the Patriots running backs. They're going to try to isolate those guys and make them play in space, especially because of their tight end situation. So for the Steelers to be successful, those guys have to win that matchup, make the open field tackles, and make them go somewhere else with the ball.
You know, Missy, I'm going to piggyback on what Arthur said, and I'm going to say stop the run. Down the stretch last year, through the playoffs, AFC Championship game, and the Super Bowl, the Patriots went back to their regular people set, and regular people is one tight end, one fullback, one tailback, and 2 wide receivers. And I thought to myself, has Belichick gone back to his original smash mouth roots when he coached for the New York Giants under Bill Parcells, or is he protecting Tom Brady, or is he taking advantage of smaller hybrid safety linebackers? But one of the things I noticed that in the third preseason game against the Carolina Panthers, 14 plays in the first half, they went with regular people. Now they have a big fullback, James Devlin, but he's not a tough guy. He's not a headbanger. So I was talking to Vince Williams. I said, you got to attack him and make sure you stuff him in the hole, because now there are 2 bodies in the hole. And what they do off the regular people is they run the lead, they run the counter trap, but if those things work, now they're going to run the play action pass. And that's what you got to stop. If you stop that, the play action pass is no good.
All right, my key is going to be special teams and every bit of special teams. I know we're talking so much about no Gronk. What is the Steelers offense going to look like? But go back to Heinz Field last year, December 16th. It was 14-10. Chris Boswell nails a 48-yard field goal. They're up by a touchdown now. But also, Coach Tomlin said, you can't make mistakes against the Patriots. So this goes for every single special teams coverage unit. No mistakes can happen. You don't want to get behind.
Yeah, he said you can't spot him points. And you can't get behind at Foxborough.
No. All right, those are your keys to the game presented by your neighborhood Ford store.
On the whistle. For the 31st annual 5K Steeler Run, and what a great turnout. Beautiful day it turned out to be. Over 2,000 participants here, and the fan base that came with them, helped support it, made it for a wonderful day.
Feels good. Just executed my race plan. Wanted to get the win, so did just that. But super fun race, awesome course, awesome to finish right here in Heinz Field.
I love this race. It's like the excitement of the race, and it's a good time of the year, and it's one of the only flat, fast 5Ks in Pittsburgh area, so I love it.
I think that's the great thing about not only the Steeler organization, but about the fan base, and that's giving back to their communities in any aspect, in any way they can, and this is one way of being able to do it.
Yeah, I think after last season, I felt like I was a part of the Steelers organization. I felt like I was part of the family. Very comfortable here. My family's comfortable here now. So I think after last season, kind of felt like a Steeler.
Haden was standing right there, went up and high pointed the ball. Came down with it, and a feet down for Haden. Haden comes off Edelman, and a catch.
Joe, first things first, congratulations on the new contract.
Thank you.
Does it feel completely normal to say that you're a Pittsburgh Steeler, going back that it wasn't too long you were drafted by the Browns and played for them for so many years?
Yeah, I think after last season, I felt like I was a part of the Steelers organization. I felt like I was part of the family. Very comfortable here. My family's comfortable here now. So I think after last season, kind of felt like a Steeler.
Week 1, heading to New England. They're going to raise some banners. You know what that environment's like up there. Is that a good or bad thing that you're going into such a high-pressure situation?
I think it's a good thing. You know, no matter what happens, we got 16 games. This is just one of the 16. But I think just with the rivalry, we look forward to playing against New England. Tom Brady, great quarterback. So, you know, we know what that comes along with. So I think it's a good thing for our team to just coming out of training camp, coming out of preseason, like ready for the season, and then knowing we're going against not a division opponent, but an opponent that we always face in the playoffs or is a tough team to beat.
All right, we're talking about New England, so I have to pull this out.
Oh.
When you look at that, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
What my favorite play since I've been in the NFL.
On second and goal, he's back. He taps, he waits. He's going to throw the ball to the near sideline, and it's going to be intercepted at the 5-yard line. A rope and duck intercepted by Joe Haden.
It's a lot of high-pressure games. You play a lot at night. You play a lot on the big stage. Every game means something, and we were trying to make that playoff push. So this is just something I was finally happy I was able to make a play for the team, and especially being against New England.
Do you look at that often to maybe remember that moment since it was your favorite play, as you're saying?
Yes, I do. I think I posted this picture about 3 times on my Instagram, but I do really like it, and I mean, I think this is what made me more of a Steeler too.
That moment,
yeah.
Being at Heinz Field.
Yep.
Steve Nelson is new to the Steelers, not new to playing the Patriots, faced them twice last year. Does he add anything, or can he share anything with you guys that maybe you don't already know about them?
I think not as much as film study. I think more of just him being out there, his practice presence. He practices very, very hard, and I love that he's brought that to our room.
In terms of the Steelers' defense, you have said it, pretty much everybody has said you guys want to play fast and you want to play physical. Now, besides adding some key players who are fast and physical, how do you go about doing that as a unit?
It starts on practice. Like we said, we've been doing fast and physical. Coach T makes us tackle all the time in training camp, so that was something that we could tell in the early preseason games. We were hitting people a lot. So just bringing that physicality, ball searching, trying to punch out the ball, and then any opportunities we have in practice that we drop picks or anytime we have a chance, we're doing push-ups, finding people. So just making sure that we know that that's something that you have to do.
Are you already seeing, without playing in a regular season game, seeing a difference from last year to this year?
Yes, on the defensive side, everybody's just running to the ball. Coaches are speaking the same language, players are speaking the same language. I don't think it's going to be too many miscommunication errors. So I think we're looking really good.
If you had to pick one player on defense, not named Joe Haden, in your opinion, who is poised to have a really big year?
TJ Watt. He's just been getting better and better. His rookie season was my first year here, and I've seen nothing but professionalism. He treats the game just like a pro. He's like a grown man, so I think just him, his work ethic, the way that he studies tape, and just the way he goes about his business. I would think he's 8 years in, you know what I'm saying, the way he just carries himself and plays and practices. So he's just been doing the same things he's been doing, but I could just tell he's just a little more locked in and just wants to make a big difference.
Lastly, I wanted to ask you, I know he wasn't your position coach, but Coach Drake meant so much to everybody on the Steelers team. Do you have a memory of him or something that maybe you shared with him?
Coach Drake, he was just a real dude, man. He was just a real guy. He could connect with everybody, and then I just know for me, we talked quite often, but every time I went out to the practice field, he would always say, "Joe, you a bad mother," and I'd be like, that's just my thing. He will always say to me every time we saw him, so I'm gonna remember that.
All right, Joe, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight on this edition of Steelers Weekly. We'll see you next time.